Are you aspiring to ace the UPSC CSE? Commence your transformational journey with the Vision IAS Delhi GS Foundation Course 2025. Empower your exam preparation through cutting-edge educational technology and personalized learning experiences with tech-enabled learning. Dive into concepts with animations, videos, and interactive tools designed for maximum understanding and retention. Personalized student portal. Access live classes, recorded sessions, and extensive academic resources, all at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Enroll now and step closer to accomplishing your IAS dream. With the Vision IAS Delhi GS Foundation Course 2025, batches starting from 31st August, 5 p.m., 17th September, 9 a.m., 24th September, 1 p.m., 30th September, 5 p.m.
Good evening, everyone. How are you all? Fine. So my name is Rajesh Govindraj, faculty. I'm faculty of Geography and Environment here at Vision IAS. So I'm associated with the Vision IAS since last 10 years. A brief introduction. My graduation background was engineering in electronics. So then after that I started to prepare for UPSC. In the meantime, I developed interest for the subject of geography and environment. I also completed my master's from Delhi University in the subject of environmental studies. So I have been teaching this subject out of interest, curiosity. So talking about my journey in UPSC, I've been to the interview 3 times. So got selected for Assistant Commandant, CAPF, and did not join further. So got selected through KPSC, my hometown, Karnataka Public Service Commission. So there also I did not join. So because by then I had developed interest in teaching here. So it's been a wonderful journey teaching all these young aspirants, young mind. Okay, so I hope to continue till I get so to learn more from you guys, which is something which I have been doing constantly. So today we'll be discussing in detail regarding the strategy to be followed for geography as well as environment. So both for the 2025 as well as for 2026. So how many of you have already completed coaching, taken some coaching? Okay, good. So how many of you are totally fresh, no class at all, nothing? Okay, few, good. So I assume all of you are appearing for next year, 2025. Any of you who are here for 2026? Okay, so for you the strategy would remain the same. So only that in your mind you'll be thinking that you have enough time, which is actually not. So आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा so as the time passes. So before you know that you're there. So from this, the next weekend we have mains examination of 2024. So the hall ticket is admit card is out, and you must be seeing the students who are going to appear for this year. Okay, so they're all, so going through the last minute preparation. Okay, so running here and there. So okay. So in the first part of the session, we'll be discussing regarding geography and the approach to be followed for geography. So how many of you have completed studying geography? Can you tell me? So एक बार अच्छे से पढ़ लिया ऐसे. Anyone else? Okay. So few. How many of you were Mains students? ठीक है. Good. So I'm going to tell the same thing. So subject of geography. What is the subject of geography and how to prepare for geography? Of course, we'll be discussing few more things in detail, going beyond the general discussion, introduction to subject. Okay, some more strategies in terms of making your answer better, because many of you have already prepared and so planning to appear for next year. So how to make your answers better, how to add value to your the already going on the classes. Fine. In that context also we'll be discussing. But before that, let me cover the basics. Okay, what are the most basic things one has to follow? If one is just beginning with geography. Okay, so we'll cover that, and in the end we'll have this question and answer session where you can ask any doubts related to geography as such. Okay, so shall we start? The subject of geography is very wide, and so in fact it is 1 year is not sufficient to complete this subject of geography. I have been preparing since last 10 years. I've been studying the subject since last 10 years, and there's no end to it. So that is one of the beauty of this subject. Okay, so there's more to learn. As you explore more, there's more to learn. So, but the thing is, like, all of you are here not to become scholars in geography, right? So you want to study geography from UPSC's point of view. So that is very much, it is very much important that you understand how much of this geography you need for UPSC general studies. Okay, so only from general studies point of view, not from optional, not from any technical aspect. The subject of geography includes various different parts. Okay, so what are the basic parts of it? First of all, what do you mean by geography? Geography का मतलब क्या है? Description of Earth. Yes. So graphy means description. Geo means Earth. It is Earth's description. So when we say description, it includes every phenomena related to the Earth. Okay, so every process happening on the surface of Earth, every kind of physical features and the related activity which is associated, everything, including the processes which are happening on the surface of Earth, above the surface of Earth, as well as below the surface of Earth. Every process together we are going to describe as part of geography. So what are the core areas of geography? The subject of geography includes what all? Okay, so let's identify that first. So there is the most fundamental aspect of geography, that is physical geography. Physical geography. What are the things which we study as part of physical geography? What do we study as part of physical geography? The landforms, the atmosphere, the water, oceans, and then the life associated. All of this comes as part of physical geography, including the surrounding environment. Is that right? So the physical aspects of geography includes the study of landform, which we call it as geomorphology. When I say physical aspect, it includes those the aspects of geography where we are going to discuss which can be felt, which can be experienced, which can be seen, the physical, the land, the physical, the air, water, all these things. There is another entire different area which is called as human aspects, human geography, where we bring human beings into the picture. When we talk about the physical geography, we will see what is the natural status of the earth. When you want to study the land, that is what is called as geomorphology, the study of land and the physical features associated with that. When you want to study the atmosphere, that is what is climatology. All the phenomena happening in the atmosphere, weather, climate, cyclone, temperature, okay, so pressure, winds, jet stream, everything comes under climatology. So then comes the study of oceans, oceanography. Oceanography. Because the earth's surface is covered by 70% of oceans, only 30% is land. Wherever all the three are interacting, land, air and water, you will find the life. The study of life in the context of soil and the associated phenomena is what is called as biogeography. There's one more aspect of physical geography, that is environmental geography. These are the 5 core areas of physical geography, which gives you the foundation of the entire geography. Okay, so you want to start geography, it's better always to start with physical geography, because every other aspect of geography depends upon physical geography only. Fine. So then comes the human geography. Human geography is where we integrate the human aspects with the physical aspects. The presence of human beings, how it has been changing the surrounding environment, how we are getting benefited from the surrounding environment, how we are interacting with the physical aspects of earth. That is what is human geography. Human geography is further divided into economic geography and social geography. Economic geography and social geography. Economic geography is where we talk about economic activities. Why economic activity is part of human geography? Who will do the economic activity? Human beings. Why it is part of geography? Where will we do this economic activity? On the earth. Every type of economic activity involves the interaction with the earth. Whether it is agriculture, mining, construction, industry, transportation, everywhere there is interaction with the earth. The economic activities are basically happening on the surface of earth only. What is the economic activity? What is the economic activity? Any activity which involves creation of value, either in terms of production of goods or services. That is what is economic activity. For examples, agriculture, which is a primary economic activity, industry, secondary economic activity, services, education, health, infrastructure, transportation, all of this, tertiary, quaternary, decision making, management, governance, research and development, they are all quaternary in nature. All of these come under economic activity. This is where economics and geography are interrelated. Both are interrelated here. Then what is social geography? Yes. How the society is impacted by geography. Is the society impacted by geography? Any example? Then? Good. Then? Simple example, population. Where do you find the population to be more denser? Plain area. Plain area, river, next to the river, coastal areas. Why? The geography makes it easy. Whether it is for living, for movement, for transportation, for trade, for any kind of business activity, it makes it easier. Is that right? It is related to geography. You go to the mountainous area, hilly area, do you find dense population? It is difficult. Is that right? Desert area or a glacial area, do you find dense population? No. Okay, so they are not at all. Again, because of geography only. Geography is closely related to the society, the way we are living, the way we are functioning. Okay, so the growth level in the society, different levels, different advancement in terms of education. Okay, so health facilities, all of these are also a result directly or indirectly the geographies. How well we are able to use that, that is also something, right? A country where the resources are very rich, today or tomorrow, it has to grow. There is a potential. Once they start to make use of it, they will start to grow. Why USA is so rich in terms of money, activities? Why? They are backed by a good mineral reserves. Okay, huge area of natural reserves. That is their strength. Same is case with the Russia. They're able to industrialize fast. Fine. The society is always impacted by geography. All that study, whether it is the study of population, the settlement. What do you mean by settlement? The place of dwelling, where we live, where we work, the buildings, the way we have constructed all of this, that is what is settlement. Right? The population, settlement, our language. In fact, language is also influenced. The distribution of language is also influenced by geography. Okay, so a simple example. If you come towards the southern region, towards the western side of Western Ghats, they speak Konkani, Tulu. Towards the eastern side, more prevalent common language is Marathi, Kannada. Right? Divided by geography. Their distribution is divided by geography. Language, culture, religion, food habits, clothing habits, many of the aspects of society are decided by geography. All that study is basically social geography. Fine. Physical geography, economic geography, social geography, both are part of human geography. This is the core area of geography. To study physical geography, you need to understand some background, the context of cosmology. What is cosmology? Study of space. Okay, so where are we from? What are we part of? What is this universe? What is the solar system? What is a galaxy? Okay, so how Earth is different from the other planets, how it is related to the other planets, what is a satellite, what is an asteroid? All of these are very much necessary to understand about the Earth. You want to study physical geography, you need to understand the background. That is cosmology. Some knowledge is required here. Any other part of geography? Is there any other branch of geography? Yes? Astrophysics is part of cosmology. There is a part of geography which involves the study of maps and map making. It is cartography. In fact, geography evolved as a subject of map making only. Okay, so initially, geography evolved as a subject of map making only. That is what is cartography. There's totally different study involved in that. Different types of maps, different ways of interpretation of maps, all of this. Then there's an area which is called as geographical thought, which talks about the principles, the philosophies, the theories, based on which the subject of geography has evolved. It is like history of geography, the historical aspects of geography. Fine, that is what is geographical thought. So what are the different contribution of different philosophers, all of this. So other than this, we have regional geography, we have political geography. The study of each region in detail is regional geography. The study of political frontiers and borders is political geography. You know, the geopolitics, the word geopolitics includes geo. First comes geo, then comes politics. Okay, so if without geo, what will you do? Where will you do politics? Fine. The area of geography is very, very wide. You take any subject, we can link it with geography. Yes. In this, how much you have to prepare for UPSC? That is the question. You cannot prepare all of this, right? Let's try to understand how much we have to prepare for UPSC. How can we understand that? Syllabus. This is the syllabus which has description of the topics which you have to study for prelims. Okay, so I have prelims syllabus. There is also main syllabus. In prelims, there are two papers: paper 1, paper 2. Fine. So paper 1 is general studies. Paper 2 is CSAT, Civil Services Aptitude Test. Each paper is for 200 marks. Okay, so CSAT is also for 200 marks. That is qualifying in nature. In paper 1, geography is one of the subject, along with current affairs, along with history, polity, economics, etc. Geography is one of the subject. What is the subject which is given here? The name of the subject is Indian and World Geography. This is the name of the subject, Indian and World Geography. In that, what all you have to study? You have to study physical geography, social geography, economic geography. Only 3 parts. There is no cosmology, there is no regional geography, there is no cartography, there is no political geography, there is no geographical thought. It is very clearly mentioned, you have to study the physical geography, social geography, economic geography. Fine? And you have to study this from the context of both India as well as world. That means physical geography of India, physical geography of world, social geography of India, social geography of world, economic geography of India, economic geography of world. Okay, so whatever you study from both India as well as world's perspective. You cannot assume if you study world's perspective, India is there. You have to study it separately. Okay, so in detail, you have to study Indian geography, not just from a general perspective. These are the only 3 areas. This is the part of main syllabus. Okay, I have taken it as it is from the notification. Okay, you can check it with the notification. This is as it is from the notification. I have just taken the screenshot. In GS1 is paper 2. Paper 2 of mains. Right? What is paper 1? Essay. Paper 2, that is GS1, there are a total of 5 subjects. Okay, 5 subjects. What are they? Okay, geography, society. Other than this, art and culture, history, in history, modern history, and post-independence, and then world history. Okay, let's include post-independence along with modern history. Okay, so it's part of the modern India. Fine. Art and culture, modern history, world history. Society, geography. Out of 5 subjects, the geography topics are mentioned in these 3 headings. Fine. So let's see what are these headings. The first topic is salient features of world's physical geography. Salient features of world's physical geography. Here it just says world's physical geography, it doesn't say Indian physical geography. In prelims, we have seen that there's both India as well as worlds, whereas in mains it says just world's physical geography. It doesn't mean that you will forget Indian physical geography, it is part of the world only. Okay, so if you see the previous year's questions, you will understand this. What do you mean by salient features of world's physical geography? It includes the 5 core aspects. What are the 5 core aspects? Geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography, environmental geography. All 5 are part of it. Fine. You will study from a broad perspective, talking about all the different aspects and their features. Okay. The second topic here is distribution of key natural resources across the world, including South Asia and Indian subcontinent. Okay, fine. So they have talked about natural resources. Where is this natural resource study? Economic geography. Economic geography includes both economic activity as well as the study of natural resources. What are the natural resources? Water resource, mineral resource, energy resource, natural vegetation. Okay, so even the soil is also a resource. Okay, all the type of natural resources available for human beings. And that natural resources you have to study from the world's perspective, South Asia's perspective, as well as Indian perspective. At all the different levels you have to study. Their overall distribution, their pattern, availability, everything in detail. The second factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sector industries in various parts of the world, including India. So this is, they're talking about economic geography. Is it right? So let's say economic activities. The second heading is both resources and economic activity, both are part of economic geography only. This part of economic geography, it includes two. One is study of natural resources, second is study of economic activity. Primary is agriculture, secondary is industry, tertiary is services. There are few other. Any other examples of secondary? Secondary economic activity other than industry? Construction is secondary, mining is primary. Fishing is primary. Forestry is primary. Right? Dairy is primary. So this you will study both from India as well as world's perspective. Third one, important geophysical phenomena such as earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclone, etc. The critical changes, locational changes in flora, fauna and the effects of such changes. Where is this in our when we divide it into different parts? Where is this? Earthquake is geomorphology, tsunami is geomorphology, volcanic activities, geomorphology, cyclone is climatology, water bodies, ice caps, oceanography, flora and fauna, biogeography and environmental geography, both. So basically this is part of physical geography only. Why it is mentioned separately? In the first, it is very clearly given salient features of world's physical geography. Does that not include earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity? Does that not include it? तो फिर क्यों इसको अलग दिया है? लोग भूल जाते हैं, चलो रिमाइंड कर लेते हैं, ये भी है इसके अंदर, पढ़ लो ऐसा. More important, why? Yes. If UPSC has mentioned anything specifically in the notification, that means there is something hidden meaning in it. Okay, so जो भी notification के अंदर दिया है, you have to read each and every word carefully. Okay, so something which you should never miss is notification. Each and every line. There are nearly 160-165 pages. Don't worry, 165 pages आपको नहीं पढ़ना है, क्योंकि in that 120 pages would be about the optionals, which is not relevant to you. Maximum you will have to go through 30 to 35 pages. Okay, so if you go through it very carefully, very clearly, you will get a lot. Trust me, the amount of time which you are going to spend on those 35 pages is going to be more worth. Okay, so than many other material which you are going to read. It's not only about the syllabus, it's not only about the information related to the qualification, exam date, how many posts. It's not about that. Within the notification, there are some hidden lines which will give you a proper guidelines how to prepare for this UPSC examination. Many fail to notice that. It will give you a proper guidelines. Have you seen it? Shall I show it? So कुछ लोग मेरे क्लास के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, तो उनको तो मैं दिखाया हूँ. चलो दोबारा देख लो. So we'll come back to this discussion on syllabus. Okay, this is UPSC website. Go to active examinations and go to the latest notification. The last notification was the prelims 2024. This is the notification. In this notification, so there are three important things, as I told you. The first thing is related to the information related to examination, qualification, criteria. Okay, all of this. You have to, of course, read that very carefully, because you cannot make these things ready when the notification comes out. Okay, many of them are related to certificates, the format of certificates, and sometimes if you are claiming reservation, you have to keep them ready beforehand. You cannot just apply for reservation certificate when the notification comes out. Once the notification comes out, you will have around 15 to 20 days of time to fill the application, right? And before that, you should have the certificates ready. So please go through the last year's notification. Most of the qualification criteria remains the same, so keep your documents ready accordingly. Okay, so that is must. Second thing is related to the syllabus. The syllabus part which I was showing, GS syllabus, optional syllabus, all of them, it is there. The third thing is related to certain instructions which you have to read carefully. Okay, these are the lines which are hidden in the notification. Many fail to notice this. Okay, but they are more valuable than anything, whatever the book, whatever the notes which you are going to read during the process of this preparation. This is the most valuable thing. Let me show. Okay, this is the plan of the examination. There they talk about the overall pattern. This is the pattern, overall papers, number of papers. Okay, so then after that comes general instruction. After the general instruction comes this part. Regarding prelims, they have not discussed in anything. Okay, so not much. But when it comes to mains, you see here, talking in general, ऐसे ही बात करते करते कुछ चीजें डाल दिया. Okay, so जिनको देखना है वो लोग देखेंगे ऐसे. What is the purpose of main examination? It is intended to assess the overall intellectual traits and depth of understanding, rather than merely the range of information and memory. What do you mean by that? Main examination is not about just mugging up something, remembering something and going there and writing. It's about how deeply you understand an issue, how well you will be able to analyze them and grasp it and put it in your own words. That is what is expected. It's not something you will just mug up from the notes and go there and vomit over there. That is not expected. UPSC is expecting that through the main examination, they are trying to assess your analytical skills, your capacity to understand and comprehend any issue, and based on that, whatever the questions they are asking, you should be able to answer it. If you have understood and analyzed any particular issue holistically, whatever the question comes, you will be able to answer it. That is the meaning of this. The nature and standard of the questions in general studies will be such that a well-educated person will be able to answer them without any specialized study. What is the meaning of this? If you are a well-educated person, you don't need any coaching. So basically, UPSC is saying that one who has done a proper education can answer this paper without any kind of specialized preparation as such. So if you are done a proper education, once you are out of your college, once you are out of your university, you can directly give your examination. So honestly, we will wait for that day. So our job may be reduced, okay, it's fine. We will wait for that day where, so it is not required, any kind of special training is not required. You know, the process of UPSC preparation, it's so good. I suggest everyone should go through this UPSC preparation once at least. You will know about your surrounding better. It will make yourself more aware about what is happening in your surrounding. Okay, so unfortunately that doesn't happen in our universities and college. Of course you can do, like you have to take more initiative. Okay, so you have to do it by yourself. Fine. Yeah. So yeah, of course, what is given here, so it is highly optimistic of UPSC to think that anyone who is just out of college or university will be able to answer these questions without any kind of specialized study. Okay, so let's honestly wait for that day. But in the meantime, we cannot ignore this line. There's a very important clue in this line regarding your method of preparation. Your method of preparation should be such that You are trying to understand and read the things from a general common man's perspective, not from a specialist perspective, one who is preparing specially for this. You don't need to sit and read each and every topic in such a manner that if any well-educated common man is reading, he will not be able to understand, only you will understand this. There's nothing like that. You go through UPSC General Studies question paper, most of the questions are very general. They're very general. It is about the awareness. Some of the questions come very specific. It appears like very specific, but it is something related to the society. Something a common man should always know. A well-educated person should always know. Remember this word, well-educated person. This is the most important word in the entire notification. Through the process of this UPSC preparation, what you are trying to become? Well-educated person. A well-educated person is aware of his surrounding. He is aware of his history. What has happened historically? What is our art and culture? What is the cultural background in which we are living? What is our geography? What is the political setup in which we are surviving? What is law? What is legal? What is illegal? What are our rights? What are our duties? What is the economic system in which we are functioning? Right? And how the international affairs work, how countries deal with each other, everything a well-educated person should know. That is the idea of UPSC preparation. Okay, so see, just one line. We can take complete session on this. You go through each and every line, you will find many such things. Notification, that is why all of you should read. Okay, so let me give you one more hint. They have also given here how your answer should be. The candidates must give relevant, meaningful and succinct answer. How your answer should be in your mains, that is also given in the notification. Your answer should be relevant. What do you mean by relevant? What is asked, you should write only that. This is not any university examination where you will just fill all the content and you will ask the evaluator, please choose. You will write what is asked. It has to be relevant. It is not what you know. It is what is asked. It should be meaningful. In your answer, when somebody reads the entire answer, there should be some meaning out of it. There should be some general sense here. It's not like just dumping of information. Fine, it should be meaningful. It should be succinct, crisp. It should be crisp, not beating around the bush. Okay, to the point. जो पूछा है वही लिखना है. जितना पता है वही लिखना है. कहानी नहीं बताना है. यूपीएससी बहुत क्लियरली बता दिया. Fine. So you go to interview part, you will find many things. In interview also they have given like what is the process of interview, what they are expecting out of a candidate, what is the nature of interview. So these are the most crucial aspect of notification. Please go through them. Fine. Okay. So coming back to our discussion on the syllabus. It is from the same notification I have taken this. Okay, the third topic we are discussing, why UPSC has given this separately. Because these are the concepts of geography which are currently relevant, and this is of most importance for a well-educated common man. A well-educated person should be aware of these things because this will impact the common man on daily basis. And in the coming days, this is going to impact more in the time of climate change and global warming. Fine. So therefore UPSC specifically saying इसको थोड़ा सा और अच्छे से पढ़ के आना, इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चंस और ज़्यादा डिटेल में पूछता हूँ मैं, और पूछा भी है. If you go through the previous papers of all the sections, this section carries the highest weightage. This carries the highest weightage. Nearly 40% of the questions in mains come from this area only. Rest everything is 60%. And this you will not study separately. This is part of physical geography only. No textbook will give you all this geophysical phenomena. चलो इसको अलग सा पढ़ लो. वो पढ़ भी नहीं सकते हो. You have to study in an interconnected manner, in a sequential order, as part of physical geography. But whenever these topic comes in physical geography, you try to give more emphasis, more importance, and try to go in more detail. Here NCERT is not sufficient. Okay, that is a very subtle hint which UPSC has given here. If anything is mentioned in detail, try to go through it in little bit more detail. Detailed questions will come. Many of the times the questions have come. Okay, so define mantle plumes. What are mantle plumes? What are the role of mantle plumes in plate movements? This question was asked. There is no word of mantle plume in NCERT. Fine, it comes from the same area. The volcanism, tsunami, earthquakes. Fine, these are the three parts. So basically, if you see in the mains, there is a mention of physical geography. This is physical geography. This is also physical geography. There is a mention of economic geography. There is no mention of social geography. In prelims, there was social geography. That is why usually in mains there will not be any questions related to social geography. Why? There is again a reason here. In prelims, there is no subject of society. In prelims, there is no society. In mains, there is a separate subject of society. There you will anyway study society, social aspects. There you will anyway interlink with geography. Just before geography, there is society over there. So therefore, social geography is not something which you have to read specifically here. In mains, it's only physical and economic geography. In prelims, it is physical, economic and social geography. However, if you go through the previous papers, you will find very minimum number of questions in social geography. There is not much questions at all. In the last 15 years, you will find only 3 questions. And 2 questions came last year. They are very basic. Very basic, just cover the basic aspects, it will be done. So now based on this, if I have to mark the important areas which one has to cover if he is studying geography. There are some more areas in the syllabus where geography topics are mentioned. Usually people skip this. Okay, so ye dono to ho gaya. This is prelims, physical, economic and social. This is mains, these 3 topics. There are few other areas of syllabus where geography topics are mentioned. For example, in prelims there is a topic of environment, ecology, biodiversity, climate change. This is also part of geography only. Which part of geography? Environmental geography. That is part of geography only, right? Before 2011, there was no separate mention of environment in the syllabus. Before 2011 syllabus, it was different. So that time, environment was part of geography only. Fine. It was only in 2011 this was mentioned separately. That doesn't mean that you will read it independently. You cannot read environment independently. You need to have the background of geography. Fine. This is supported by geography. Half of the questions can be solved using geography knowledge only. Fine. Of course, they are more relevant to current affairs, current related. Fine. This is environment. You need the support of geography here. This is geographical concept only. The same topic is there in mains also. This is also related to geography. Conservation, environmental pollution, degradation, environmental impact, assessment. They are all related to geography. Okay, geography is not background only. There is one topic mentioned in paper 4 GS3. That is disaster and disaster management, and all disasters are geographical events only, except some man-made disasters. Most of the disasters are geographical events only. So after studying geography, you have to study disaster management. Disaster is a geographical event. Their cause, distribution, okay, so on their impacts, everything is geographical concept. Management is something which you have to study separately. There are few topics which is given in the economic syllabus, but they are related to geography. For example, agriculture. It is given in the economic syllabus, GS3. The cropping pattern in various parts of the country, different types of irrigation system, all of this. You will study this as part of agriculture, economic activity, primary economic activity. There you will study this. But questions will come in GS3 as well as GS1. In GS1 also you will have agriculture related question. In GS3 also you will have agriculture related question. You need the support of geography here. There is also one more topic related to geography, that is energy, ports, roads, airports and railways. This is again related to tertiary sector, tertiary economic activity. Okay, here also you need the support of geography. You need to study from both economics as well as geography's angle. Okay, combining all of this we can say is the overview of the units in geography. If somebody is preparing for UPSC, from UPSC's point of view, these are the units one has to cover. One should not miss any of these units. Okay, it includes everything related to geography. The physical geography of world, physical geography of India, and then human geography from both world and India's perspective. Fine, I have included from both prelims as well as mains point of view. Physical geography of world includes the introduction to cosmology, because I told you to study the physical geography you need this background, and then you will study about geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography. I have not put environmental geography because you have to study that separately. It is mentioned separately both in prelims as well as mains. That will go separately. Physical geography of India, physiography, drainage pattern, climate and soil. The same thing which you studied from the world's perspective, you will study from India's perspective separately. In prelims it is mentioned separately, right? You have to do that separately. Prelims, particularly physical geography of India, carries a very good weightage. Okay, so it carries a very good weightage. Human geography, I have put both of them together because it is little bit factual and information type. You don't have to study this separately. While studying each and every topic, you can study both India as well as world. For example, you're talking about natural vegetation, first study from the world's perspective, then go to India's perspective, so that you can go parallelly. This is human geography. Human geography in UPSC preparation includes main focus on economic geography only. You can see water resources, vegetation, agriculture, mineral, industry, transportation. All of these are economic geography only. There is only one small part related to population and settlement. Very briefly, you can cover quickly using 12th standard NCERT. So there is no need to go detail further beyond that. Because one reason this is not mentioned in the mains and no question usually comes in mains. Okay, whatever the question comes, that is under the society. Okay, so that goes into society. Second, even in prelims also there is not much of questions have been asked. So no need to waste too much time on that. Give more focus on these aspects. This is going to be more useful for you. And common to all of them, you need to cover mapping. Okay, so mapping is something which is very important, which many of the students find it to be difficult. Okay, so I'll tell you how to cover mapping. This is your geography. Fine. So the way syllabus from the notification gives you enough hint to prepare for UPSC in what area you have to prepare. In the same way, PYQ also helps you to understand in what direction you have to prepare. Okay, so the PYQ analysis is must. If you are preparing geography, you have to go through at least for 10 years. 10 years of prelims, 10 years of mains, compulsory. It will help you in analyzing the topics in detail. Okay, and find out in which direction you have to prepare, in which depth you have to prepare, what should be the approach. It will be very, very helpful. So otherwise, see, from the syllabus we are able to shortlist these topics. You take out geomorphology, you can study geomorphology for 1 year. There's so much in it. There are separate textbooks for geomorphology. There are separate textbooks for climatology, oceanography. Each of the topics are so detailed. Okay, so in that, how will you identify at what depth you have to study and what topics you have to study, what is not required to be studied? All of this can be done with the help of previous year's questions. At least 10 years of prelims as well as mains. Yes. Yes. Okay, so minimum 10 years, you can go up to maximum 15 years also. So जितना पीछे जाओगे उतना अच्छा है. Minimum 10 years तो करना ही है for everyone. So using PYQs, the first thing you will understand is how many number of questions will come. That will enable you to go through like what is the overall weightage of the subject. ऐसे तो नहीं है कि आप बैठ के पूरा पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, क्वेश्चन ही नहीं आ रहे. तो क्वेश्चन जितना आएगा उतना तो मेहनत करोगे ना. You don't have to give too much of time unnecessarily if the questions are not coming. First, understand the number of questions which are coming both in prelims as well as mains. PYQ will give you enough hint regarding that, enough understanding you can do that. Second, what type of questions are coming? What is the nature of questions? Factual, current affairs, conceptual, static. Okay, so do you have to remember more information or just going through the conceptual part is sufficient? All of this is very much necessary. This will save a lot of time for you. Okay, so let's say you're studying about the Himalayas, you're just mugging up all the mountains, all the peaks, and the question has not at all come. What is the purpose? They're asking what is the nature of Himalayas, what is the way the Himalayan mountains are formed. First see the questions, first understand the nature of the questions in which they're asking, then prepare accordingly. It will save your time. And is there any shift in the pattern? That is also very clearly visible. If you observe the last 10 years of pattern, there is no single pattern as it is there which is for the last 10 years. They continuously change. What kind of change? Are they moving from conceptual to factual? Are they moving from static to current affairs, or current affairs to static? That change in the pattern you have to observe. And in each of the topics, at what depth you have to prepare, and what are the subtopics which you have to focus upon. All of this can be easily narrowed down using PYQ. PYQ analysis is very, very important. For every subject, do a thorough PYQ analysis so that you can prepare accordingly. Okay, so even if you delay your preparation by 1 week, it is fine. पहले बैठ के PYQ थोड़ा सा अच्छे से देख लो. It will save a lot of time, I'm telling you. Otherwise, if you're just going through randomly every subject, every notes, every textbook, then thinking, let me study the first subject first, then I'll go through the PYQ. It is a waste of time. Half of the time will be wasted here. By going through PYQ, you will get a proper direction. क्या पढ़ना है, कैसे पढ़ना है, क्या नहीं पढ़ना है. I'll give you a rough introduction based on the PYQ analysis. Detail you can find it in the YouTube. Okay, it's there. So this is GS geography questions asked in the last 14 years. 2011 is when the syllabus was changed last. From 2011 till 2024. This is only geography questions. Out of 100 questions, how many geography questions have been asked each year? Fine. You can observe that initial first 5 years there were good high weightage. Okay, there were good high weightage. On an average, 16 to 18 questions were there. Fine. Next 6 years, the weightage was decreased, on an average around 10 questions only. The entire geography I'm talking about. In the last 3 years, again, high weightage. 18, 21, 22. This year, 22 questions were there. Geography was the highest in terms of weightage compared to any section. Fine. It carried the highest weightage. And most interesting part, all of them are conceptual in type. They were not factual. They were not too related to factual and current related. They were conceptual. So why am I saying this? That makes it scoring. You have studied geography thoroughly, you can easily answer it. You know, when the questions are too factual, too information type, current related type, ऐसे question आ गया तो या पता है नहीं पता है और कुछ नहीं कर सकते उसमें. Even if you are given so much of time in geography, तो अगर वो news छोड़ दिया, वो fact छोड़ दिया तो गया question. Luckily this time out of 22 questions, at least 15 to 16 questions were totally concept based. Geography ठीक ठाक से करके गया है तो वो पूरा के पूरा as it is मिल जाएगा आपको. Fine. So that is something which I can say made me happier about this year's paper. Okay, not just the number of questions, it's about the nature of the questions. And this excludes environment. Okay, so excludes environment. Environment जब आएंगे तो तब बात करेंगे environment के बारे में. This is mains. GS1, the weightage of geography. Consistently since 2013. 2013 is when the main syllabus was changed. Consistently it has remained around 100. 100 out of 250. GS1. In GS3, at least 1 or 2 questions in agriculture, at least 1 or 2 questions in disaster management, at least 1 or 2 questions in environment. On an average, 5 questions you can keep. At least 50 marks. 50 marks in GS3, 100 marks in GS1, a total of 150 marks out of 750. So that makes geography the highest in the entire GS syllabus. Okay, so excluding ethics, of course. Okay, so out of 750 in GS 1, 2, 3, geography combined with environment. Okay, so carries 150 marks. Environment तो हमारा ही है ना, right? So prepare thoroughly. Geography you can prepare thoroughly. थोड़ा बहुत उसमें तो मेहनत लगा के कर सकते हो. Returns are there. And particularly in the current trend, prelims का देखो अभी अभी increase होना शुरू हुआ है. At least for next 1 or 2 years, this trend is expected to be there. Okay, let me give you a few examples of questions so that you get the idea how the questions are asked in geography. Okay, so read this question, try to give the answer. ठीक है, so leave about the answer. Okay, answer is not important. You study about geography, NCERT में दिया है ये topic. Okay, it's not that difficult. The point is the nature of the question. This is totally static in nature. Static matlab not related to current affairs. You would have read about earthquakes happening every year. It is not based on current affairs. You have studied geomorphology. You should have studied earthquake. You have studied earthquake. You should have studied about the different types of earthquake waves. Very basic characteristics of earthquake waves. Okay, so NCERT में directly आपको मिल जाएगा इसका information. It is conventional part of geography. Conceptual related. The nature of the earthquake waves, how they move, how they propagate. Okay, very basic. This is one type of question. You will get the answer directly from NCERT. This is another type of question. What is the answer? Okay. So again, answer is not important. Try to understand the nature of the question. Okay, so this you may find it in the textbook, but that is not the point. They are not asked this because you have to prepare as part of geography. सारा natural resources पढ़ना है. उसमें cobalt is one of the mineral resource and वो कहाँ पर मिलता है. इतना तो कोई भी नहीं पढ़ सकते. Honestly, at GS level, nobody can read at this detail. This is from current affairs. Cobalt was in news. DRC was also in news. Both of them were in news. Cobalt was in news because of electric mobility, one of the very important component in electric vehicles, batteries. Fine. And in the recent times, their proportion is increasing. There is a very high demand for it. And among the countries which produce cobalt, DRC is the major one, which produces more than 55% of the present cobalt production in the world. And DRC, they are using all ways of extracting this material, legal, illegal, environmentally disastrous. Okay, so polluting environment in all the different methods, using all the inhuman methods of extraction, using child labor. That is why it is in news. Totally from current affairs. It is a geography question derived from current affairs. Two types of questions you can understand. Okay, one is static and conceptual type. Okay, conventional type. This is totally related to current affairs. In geography, mapping carries a very high weightage, particularly in prelims. At least 40% of the questions would be related to mapping only. Fine. In mapping also, you will see two types of questions. Okay, just read this question. Try to read the question and try to think of the answer. What is the answer? चलो ठीक है, छोड़ो answer. Understand the nature of the question. It's a mapping location, map based. You'll find this in the atlas. There's so many locations in the atlas. Why this was asked? This is related to what you have studied as part of physical geography of India. In physical geography of India, Himalayas is a very important topic. You have to study Himalayas, their nature, their basic characteristics. If at all you have studied about Himalaya, you would have read, there is one line in NCERT. The Great Himalayas extends from Nanga Parbat to Namcha Barwa. Nanga Parbat is the easternmost point, Namcha Barwa is the westernmost point. It is towards the north of Arunachal Pradesh, it is located in Tibet. Namcha Barwa. It is not in Gadwal, Himalaya. Gadwal, Kumaon, these are the different regional divisions of Himalayas. Even this you would have read. Okay, so it's in Uttarakhand. Gadwal is in Uttarakhand. This is wrong. Nanda Devi is an important peak. It is in Uttarakhand only. Important peaks. In that examples, it is very clearly given. Nokrek is a biosphere reserve. It's a mountain as well as biosphere reserve in Meghalaya. In Meghalaya. Can you see why this question was asked? This is something related to your textbook only. It is related to what you had read as part of your geography. This is what is static locations. Whenever you are reading geography textbook, some notes or some material, in that you will find in examples, in locations, in description, you will find some locations. You have to be very aware of these locations. Where are they located exactly? They will not ask about the information. They will ask where is it located exactly. Direct question. That is how you shortlist the locations to be prepared from geography. Fine. This is related to current affairs. Totally from current affairs. You will not find this in any textbook. It was in news that year, that's why the question was asked. A lake was drying up and turning into desert. What is the lake? Lake Fagubin in western part of Africa. Okay? Totally from current affairs. There are two types of questions from current affairs. Sorry, location based. So the overall, the nature of questions in prelims are such that you have to focus on the conceptual part, and while studying the conceptual part, try to make note of important locations, and that can be asked as mapping part. And while going through current affairs, try to see those areas which are relevant to geography. Okay, if there is a energy production in a particular location, where is the location? Fine. And what is the news behind that? Try to link current affairs with geography and the current locations, any location currently in news, one or the other way it is relevant for UPSC, go through that. That is prelims. This is how the questions in mains would come in geography. Okay, here also you can identify 4 types of questions. So first one, read this question. What are the forces that influence ocean currents? Describe their role in fishing industry of the world. Okay, understand the question first. Fine. Okay. This is a very basic question. If at all you had studied oceanography, you would have definitely studied ocean currents. Without studying oceanography, ocean currents. Okay, so आप ocean currents नहीं पढ़ा तो oceanography क्या पढ़ोगे आप? Very basic topic. You will find the answer for this in NCERT only. Directly मिल जाएगा. थोड़ा बहुत भी prepare किया है geography, इसका answer मिल जाएगा. These type of question we can call it as a static. Static means they are not related to current affairs. They are totally core part of geography, and they are basic, direct. You would have read, you will answer it directly as it is. That is what is static and basic. Second, discuss the multi-dimensional implications of uneven distribution of mineral oil in the world. Question समझ लो. समझ आया? What is the question here? What is the demand of the question here? Is it uneven development alone? One of the aspects. Other aspects? Not only that, that is one of the aspects. They're saying multi-dimensional implications. You can write economic angle, political angle, environment angle, social angle. Various different aspects you can write, which is around the uneven distribution of petroleum. Petroleum is not found uniformly everywhere. Is that right? You will not find petroleum everywhere. If you find petroleum everywhere, this much of issues would not have happened. Okay, so half of the problems of the world will be gone. Right? So it is concentrated in few areas. What are the issues which have arisen because of that? The question is not about the distribution of petroleum. They are not asking you to explain the distribution of petroleum. Many of the students would have written that. That is not required here. The question is mainly focusing upon the multi-dimensional implications of such distribution. This answer you will not find anywhere in the textbook. You would have read about the distribution of petroleum. There you would have read, okay, so here you will find, here you will find, there is a particular pattern in some of the regions it is there, some of the regions it is not there. Based on that, you have to make your own answer. This is also not from current affairs. This is a static question only, but it is applied in nature. This is direct, this is applied. Do you understand the difference here? Here the answer is set, it is there in the notes, it is there in the textbook. You just write it, you just reproduce it. Here you will sit and think and make an answer. Here everyone's answer will remain the same. Here everyone's answer will differ. Here there is a scope for scoring here. Right? यहाँ पर तो सबका वही होगा आंसर, सेम है. Read the third question. Why is the world today confronted with the crisis of availability of and access to freshwater resources? ठीक है? The question is about the issues associated with the freshwater resources, drinking water, or the water which we use for agriculture and domestic usages. Why? The question revolves around why. Why there is so much of issues, either in terms of availability or in terms of access. You have to differentiate both. Okay, so it is not available everywhere. In some places it is available, in some places it is not available. Even if it is available, for everyone it is not accessible. You should be able to differentiate both. Fine? And this is in the context of current affairs. This you would have studied as part of your water resources economic geography. But you cannot complete this answer without using current issues. You have to give current examples, current issues. You have to take the examples from Bangalore. Okay, so hill stations, South Africa, okay, so Mexico City, everywhere, wherever there is water scarcity, water issues, what are the reasons behind that? You should be able to justify that. It's a mix of both static as well as current affairs. This is totally current affairs. Discuss the meaning of color-coded weather warning for cyclone-prone areas given by IMD. Have you heard of color-coded weather warning? Yesterday it was issued for Delhi. Orange alert. It is not only for cyclone, every kind of natural disaster, IMD uses the same color-coded weather warning. Don't think IMD is lazy. Okay, so सबके लिए same use करते हैं. It is used with a purpose, not to create confusion, to make it easily understandable. For every disaster related, particularly related to the atmosphere, they use the same color-coded weather warning. What are the 4 colors? Green warning, yellow warning, orange warning, red warning. Fine. It shows the overall intensity of the issue, intensity of the disaster. Mark, 150 words, you can make it very easily. What is the question? Discuss the meaning of color-coded weather warning for cyclone-prone areas given by IMD. First, you will talk what are these color-coded weather warning. 4 different types of color-coded weather warning. Then, what is the implication of this? What do you mean by orange alert in the context of cyclone? What are the precautionary measures to be taken? What do you mean by red alert? Tab kya karna hai? How this kind of warning is different from the other disasters? There is also a difference here. For cyclone, they use a matrix. Using this color-coded matrix method, they give the warning for like next 2-3 days across the different locations. थोड़ा सा specific है. आराम से मिल जाएगा 10 मार्क का. वो टेबल तो नेमिंग सिस्टम का था. वो टेबल तो नेमिंग सिस्टम का था. कलर कोडेड वेदर वार्निंग अलग था. ये मैट्रिक्स का बता रहे हो आप, कलर कोडेड उसका बता रहे हो. There are 2 things. One is naming system, that is different. Weather warning is different. Color coded weather warning is different. This is totally from current affairs. Okay, this is not part of your textbook, not part of your static. 4 type of questions. Fine. The good thing about geography, you will find maximum questions here. Even though 4 type of questions are there, Let's take any one paper. In one paper, you will find 100 marks. Geography 100 marks are there. In 100 marks, you will find at least 40 marks here, which makes it very easy to score. 40 marks here, 30 to 40 marks here. Rest 20 to 30 marks comes here. Fine. Direct current affairs you will find very rarely. This is one of the very rare question which was asked. इसके पहले एक बार आया था IRNSS के ऊपर directly current affairs. ऐसे बहुत rarely आएगा direct current affairs. They are more static in nature. The questions which are asked in UPSC mains, particularly for geography, it is more static in nature. That makes geography very scoring. So don't think I'm advocating geography मेरा subject है तो बता रहा हूँ ऐसे सारा अच्छे चीजें निकाल के, तो जो अच्छे हैं अच्छे बताना ही है. So if you want I can tell you negatives also. Okay, so बाद में बताता हूँ. This is the overall weightage of geography in prelims. We have 3 different sections: physical geography of world, physical geography of India, economic geography. In this physical geography of world, overall in the last 7 years, you can see physical geography of world 40%, physical geography of India 20%, 25%, and economic geography 32%. This is the overall breakup. This is mains. As I told you, geophysical phenomena itself carries the highest weightage. I have put this separately just to show how important this section is. A small area which is specifically asked by UPSC to focus upon, but carries highest weightage. Okay, together this, the entire physical geography carries 50%, entire economic geography carries 50%. In that, resources, economic activity, almost equal weightage. For more details, you can refer to these links. This is just a brief introduction of PYQ analysis. Fine. I have given in this PPT, this will be shared along with this description of this video. It will be uploaded in the YouTube. Okay, so here I have given you the analysis of last 11 years. Okay, so from 2014 to 2024, including the latest analysis which we did it after this year's prelims, I have added here. I have taken all these sessions myself for Vision IAS here. And please go through this. I would suggest strongly to go through this before you even start your preparation. Okay, or if you have already started, still you have to go through this. Okay, so pehle khatam karo. It will give you a total idea like what is the type of question, what is the nature of the question, and how to orient your preparation accordingly. This is for prelims and this is for mains. Okay, same again, this is also from 2014 to 2023, 2024 अभी जैसे पेपर खत्म हो गया तो ऐड हो जाएगा, ठीक है? And this will be very helpful, trust me. अब उल्टा शुरू करो, last 2024 से शुरू करो, so complete this. So talking about the sources which one has to follow for geography. So the most basic sources, NCERT. Okay, so for physical geography, these are the 3 books one has to follow. There are 2 NCERTs, 11th standard NCERT, Fundamentals of Physical Geography, India Physical Environment. Both are physical geography only. This is World Physical Geography, India Physical Geography. Fine. And these are thoroughly given, very good textbooks. You have to cover it line by line. Very important. GC Leong is something one should not miss. Okay, so GC Leong, Gocheng Leong, very small book. Now the cover page they have changed. They have updated few figures. Otherwise, most of the content is same. Okay, some of the figures are updated. Okay, you can, if you don't have the older book, you can buy the new one. If you have the older books, that is also fine. Fine. GC Leong, why I recommend? It's a very small book, but very impactful. Okay, so the lines which are given, they are very concise, very precise. Precisely, they have put the information in such a manner that you read line by line, you will get a lot of information which is useful for you. Okay, so whether you are going to cover all the chapters or not, please don't miss the chapters of climatology. The chapters from 15, okay, so read from 13 also. 13 to 25, totally important. There is no other best source for climatology other than GC Leong. Fine. And that is again the physical aspect only. It will integrate, try to integrate the human aspects, but only from the world's point of view, not Indian point of view. Fine. For human geography, there are 2 textbooks. One is the World Human Geography, Indian Human Geography. So World Human Geography includes the fundamentals of physical geography. Indian Human Geography is India, people and economy. Here they discuss both economic aspect as well as social aspects in both of them. Okay, try to give more importance to economic aspects and just briefly the social aspects. Fine. But for economic aspects, NCERT does not give a good coverage. Okay, so ये तो आपके लिए जो UPSC के लिए जितना चाहिए वो तो cover नहीं करता है. So therefore I suggest another textbook, the same level, okay, not a very high level. It's 10 standard textbook for ICSE students, ICSE syllabus है, fine. And इसमें Indian geography पूरा cover होता है. Indian geography is covered completely here. You can skip the chapters related to physical geography and just read the chapters related to economic geography. That is the chapters related to agriculture, resources, industry, transportation. They are going to be very, very useful. One of the latest updated data you will find here. The cover page may not remain the same. Cover page would vary, but the overall, the name of the book is same, Total Geography and ICSE syllabus. In addition to this, if at all you are interested to go a little bit more detail, okay, particularly the topics which are related to the physical geography, the geophysical phenomena, where you have to cover in little bit more detail, there you can refer to Savinder Singh Physical Geography. Okay, so but however, if you have access to any of the class notes or any other material, that would be sufficient. Okay, so for example, if you have my class notes, I cover, so whatever the things which are required in detail, so that would be sufficient.
Sir, is there any integrated book for physical geography of Savinder Singh? Or whatever I have noticed that it is separate for geomorphology, then climatology, oceanography.
Yes, there is one book, Physical Geography by Savinder Singh.
Okay.
That covers all the areas of physical geography.
Okay.
Okay, you can refer that.
जब रिवीजन करते तो इसमें प्रॉब्लम जाती है क्योंकि ये बुक्स जितनी भी है तो फिर वो कंटेंट को कैसे मर्ज करे इतने टाइम, क्योंकि वो रिवाइज करने में बहुत कम टाइम में रिवाइज करना पड़ता है.
Come again.
जो ये आपने बुक्स बताई है तो इसको तो रीड करने में तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, पर जब रिवीजन करते हैं तो सर उसमें डिफिकल्टी आएंगी.
हाँ, so देखिए, these are all the reference books. They're all reference book. Your primary source should be a class notes or whatever the notes which you have maintained. Notes is always your primary source. From where you are going to read again and again, you are going to revise from the notes only. Whenever, let's say you are studying about the topic of earthquakes. Okay, so you have a notes or you have made a notes. You read from these and add that extra content to the notes only. Fine. You would have read this while studying the earthquake and you would have added that extra content to the notes only. Now you can revise only from the notes. But before examination, I would suggest just roughly glance through. You have done all the thorough revision of notes, everything. Just roughly glance through the NCERTs. Because as I told you, sometimes UPSC directly picks the statements from NCERT. वो दिमाग में fresh रहेगा तो easily वो याद हो जाएगा.
सर वन मोर क्वेश्चन, सॉरी सर, इसमें डीप में किस में जाना है, क्योंकि इंडिया और वर्ल्ड ज्योग्राफी आपने कहा है तो इसमें मोर फोकस किस पे करना है, क्योंकि मतलब जितने भी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन
प्रीलिम्स के लिए, मेंस के लिए?
हाँ, प्रीलिम्स मेंस दोनों के लिए बता दीजिए.
ओके, सो इन डेप्थ में आपको फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी कवर करना है. फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी कवरिंग जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी, क्लाइमेटोलॉजी, ओशनोग्राफी, बायोजियोग्राफी, you have to cover in detail. Okay, at least leave about biogeography, that is also like overview would be sufficient. At least geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, that should be covered in depth. All the questions, all the topics, both for prelims as well as for mains. Economic geography you have to cover from the current point of view. Okay, current relevance is very much important, whatever the current issues are there. Okay, so half of economic geography is current related aspects only. Indian geography is more relevant for prelims. Okay, for prelims. Mains also there are few topics, but it is more required for prelims, particularly from the mapping point of view.
सर आपके क्लासेस से तो मतलब सारी चीज़ें समझ में आ जाती है कि मतलब पूरे कॉन्सेप्ट वगैरह सारे, पर एप्लीकेशन करने में थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम जा रही थी.
हाँ, तो एप्लीकेशन के लिए है ना, so you need to revise the entire subject once, at least once or twice comprehensively. Okay, so once you cover all the topics, okay, let's say you have covered world physical geography, Indian physical geography, and then economic geography, you have done completely. Try to revise in an integrated manner. So what do you mean by that? Whenever you read the topic of geomorphology, try to integrate what you had read in resources, what you had read in the natural vegetation, agriculture, how you can interrelate it. Anything which comes to your mind, try, you should be able to correlate. Okay, so and the same thing, when you are studying the economic geography, when you're studying the natural vegetation, you should link at the same time the soil condition, the climatic conditions, as well as the topography. That kind of interlinking comes only when you start your revision, comprehensive revision. Okay, once the entire subject is done. That kind of interlinking is very much required in geography. Okay, so वो रिवीजन के थ्रू आएगा, आप थोड़ा सा मेहनत करके उसको कोशिश करके लगाना है, फिर वो आदत हो जाएगा लिंकिंग करना.
सर इफ वी कंप्लीट, अगर हम यूपीएससी के सिलेबस के हिसाब से वो सारे जो कीवर्ड, वो टर्म जो लिखा रहता है, मेंशन रहता है, उसके अनुसार अगर हम इसे पूरा कंप्लीट कर लेते हैं तो वी आर एबल टू सोल्व द ऑल क्वेश्चंस.
मोस्ट ऑफ देम, यस.
मोस्ट ऑफ देम,
यस.
बट स्पेशली फॉर करेंट अफेयर्स, उसके लिए तो थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा.
That means if at all you have covered all the keywords, you have to be aware कौन सा current affairs से cover करना है, कौन सा statics से cover करना है, वो तो करना ही है. Current affairs related, as I said earlier also, economic geography is one area where you have to be totally linking with the current affairs. You're talking about water resources, see the water issues, okay, both the fresh water as well as the rivers, okay, so as well as the international disputes, you should be able to correlate over there. Talking about natural vegetation, see the current issues which are in the context of vegetation, whether it is deforestation or whether it is related to the environmental conservation, biodiversity conservation, like this. Try to interlink.
और सर अगर किसी स्टूडेंट का ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल होता है तो उसके लिए तो एडवांटेज में ये सारे कवर हो जाएंगे सिलेबस.
यस, यस. देखिए, सो जो ऑप्शनल के कंटेक्स्ट में बात करना है, सो सिंस आई टीच ऑप्शनल आल्सो हियर, सो आई एम टेलिंग यू, any student who is considering geography should not think that geography का major optional से GS से link हो जाएगा तो इसलिए लेना है. First thing you should always consider is your interest in the subject. Okay, so you have a genuine interest, then only go for the subject of geography, because you have to study many things in more detailed manner. After that, if you study them in more detailed manner, you don't have to prepare GS separately. All of them are covered in the optional preparation. However, answer writing is slightly different in both optional as well as GS. The orientation is slightly different. You cannot use too technical terms here. You cannot use philosophers, thinkers, models here. You have to keep it little bit general and application oriented. There you have to use it. Okay, so if you choose geography as optional, your 150 marks is covered anyway. Okay, environment is also covered. Environmental geography you will study separately. Okay, disaster management is covered. Approach will be little bit different for GS. Content will be covered.
If one has your foundation class notes, how do we do value addition from these books?
Yes.
What is the process?
So these books, I would suggest you to read that. Okay, so these NCRTs as well as GC Leong as well as total geography, you will get some extra information. Okay, so the point is not about the information. The point is to read the same thing in a different context, different manner, different way, so that you get a better clarity. Fine, just read that once.
But for most part, the class notes should be enough.
Yes, you just whatever you get it extra over there, just add it here and make it more comprehensive. That would be enough. In addition to that, you need to add some current affairs. Okay, so if you have this year's class note, if you are part of the class program, or if you have access to it, okay, this year's current affairs would have been covered. And if you are preparing for next year, you have to add that current affairs extra from your end.
So how do we do that? If one is a student of MCAR at this institute, how do we... I am a previous batch student, so I have previous notes, class notes, and currently I am an MCAR student here.
That would be sufficient.
So I have access to the...
Yes.
But how do I combine that?
Yes, I'll tell you. So in MCAR, that is monthly current affairs revision classes for current affairs, we conduct these subject-wise classes. In that, geography is not separately done, but it is done as part of environment. In environment section, the last topics are usually geography related. Okay, so while reading through that, whenever you read a topic related to geography, or even for environment for that matter, if you find something relevant to the static part, please come back to your notes and add that value here, add that information here. It's a small exercise, but it will be very useful. That is how you fill the gaps here. Every time you read a current affairs section, environment or geography, if you find anything, let's say you find a topic related to cyclone, some erratic behavior of cyclone, it is being observed. More number of cyclones are being observed in Arabian Sea than Bay of Bengal. You would have read that topic. Come to the topic of cyclones in your notes and I just add that information. That is how you enrich it.
Also, like that color-coded question of IMD
Yes.
came. So how do we prepare beforehand for such questions?
Same thing from current affairs. This was directly from current
So
affairs.
the magazine will be enough
Yes,
for that
yes,
MCR
yes.
magazine. Okay. Also,
And you should add that, then only you will remember it, right? You should be to integrate and correlate with the current affairs. You should add that in the notes.
also geography is a very vast subject, and if we add environment and mapping and all to that, then it becomes very big. So every time I start, I have read that subject around 2-3 times, but every time I start, it all feels new and it all feels like a very giant exercise to take it. So how do I make it crisp, the division?
It is a good thing, right? So if you are able to see it as a whole, geography, environment and mapping exercise, if you ask me in prelims, it will cover 35 questions out of 100. Okay, so that should be your motivation. You cover it comprehensively, with 35 marks is in your pocket.
But is there any way to reduce the time taken?
Yeah. With revision, you can definitely reduce that. Okay, keep your physical geography strong. If you want to give more time in physical geography, it's okay. Make it stronger. If physical geography is strong, the Indian physical geography it will go very smoothly. And how well you will be able to correlate with the economic aspect. You studied climatology thoroughly, your understanding of natural vegetation will be very clear. Right? The same climatic condition will be helpful for understanding the different types of agriculture practice. Okay, keep the physical geography stronger, and that will also be helpful for environmental geography, environment itself.
Also, there are many locations that are coming every day in the newspaper. For example, right now Gaza is in news. So various oceans, and then the Red Sea locations, and then Egypt. Also, if we consider Ukraine, Russia, like various locations, and then there are many seas and various ports and everything. So do we have to remember all of them?
Okay, so I'll answer this. Next part I'll discuss about that.
Okay,
Mapping.
that's all. Thank you.
Anything else? Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Sir, as you see in second question of mains, we see static plus applied per. So how we apply our static knowledge in that type of question? Like we see a type of location here and a geographical element. So how we maximize our content in that type of question?
See, when I say applied, it means basically whatever you had studied as part of your static geography concept, using that you have to make an answer then and there. That is the meaning of it. Okay, that is the meaning of applied. You have to use that and make an answer. There's no ready-made answer here. How to do that? Try to see from all the different angles, different dimensions as much as possible. And that was a very clear example how you can do that. They very clearly mentioned what are the multi-dimensional implications. Try to think from all the angles. What you have, you know that the petroleum is not uniformly distributed. You just know about this. You also know about some information. Okay, it is found in the West Asia. It is found in the Gulf of Mexico. It is found in North Sea. But other parts it is not there. You know this much of information. Using this, you have to make an answer. Think from all the different possible angles. Political, how this is relevant for political context. Most of the geopolitics of West Asia is decided based on that. Most of the wars are fought because of that. Economic. The world economy is dependent upon the most important commodity which is traded in the world is oil. The import, export, the trade deficit, okay, so as well as the currency value, everything is decided based on that. Environmental angle. Okay, so it is because it is found in only few locations, there is a high concentration of certain type of industries in that region. Okay, there are higher chances of environmental issues, environmental disasters in that region. Society, okay, social aspect. Okay, wherever there is, we find these petroleum and gas to be abundant. You find a stark inequality, right? Like this. So now, how to develop this practice on daily basis? Practice on daily basis. The more you write answer, the better it is. For the questions which are applied in nature, the more you write answer, the better it becomes. दिस विल नॉट कम, मैंने तो बता दिया अभी ऐसे लिख सकते हो, वो आप खुद सोच के लिखने के लिए कैसे, डू इट ऑन डेली बेसिस। ओके, फोकस मोर ऑन सच टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन, जहां पर आपको आंसर पता नहीं है वहां पर ही आपको प्रैक्टिस करना है। डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन तो कोई भी लिख सकता है, पढ़ के आ गया तो मिल गया तो लिखेंगे बस। ओके, प्रैक्टिस मोर ऑन दैट। ओके, सो लेट मी फिनिश द नेक्स्ट पार्ट, देन विल टेक सम मोर क्वेरीज।
सर सब्जेक्ट वाइज तो नोट्स बन गए हैं, सर उसको थीम्स वाइज इंटरलिंक कैसे करें और नोट्स फिर कैसे बनाएं, जैसे शॉर्ट नोट्स टाइप, उसको प्रीलिम्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू के हिसाब से बनाएं या मेंस, दोनों को इंक्लूड कैसे करें?
So if you ask me, notes should not be made for prelims or mains point of view. Notes तो पूरा comprehensive रखो, at least from geography point of view I can say. Notes तो एक ही होगा, वही notes आप पढ़ोगे prelims के लिए as well as mains के लिए।
सर दूसरी क्वेश्चन है कि सर करंट अफेयर्स जो मंथली आती है उसको ऐड ऑन करें या मेंस 365 से काम चल जाएगा?
अगर मंथली करंट अफेयर्स आप मंथली बेसिस पे कर सकता है तो दैट इज द बेस्ट एक्सरसाइज। डोंट वेट फॉर PD 365 और PD 365 और मेंस 365, दैट इज ओनली फॉर दोज हु आर लेजी। जो मंथली बेसिस पे नहीं कर सकता है उन्हीं के लिए हम लेके आए, क्योंकि वो भी हमारे ही बच्चे हैं ना, हाथ तो नहीं छोड़ सकते हैं। बोला है कि चलो जो हो गया अभी ये पढ़ लो, बट दैट इज मेड फ्रॉम द मंथली करंट अफेयर्स ओनली।
Sir,
It is always good because monthly current affairs will integrate both prelims and mains. That connection is very much required. तब तो एंड में टाइम नहीं मिलता, हम बोला कि ठीक है ये पढ़ के जाना प्रीलिम्स के लिए, ये पढ़ के जाना मेंस के लिए।
सर थीम्स कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करें और उसको इंटरलिंक कैसे करें सब्जेक्ट वाइज? जैसे कि एक अगर वाटर टॉपिक है तो वाटर टॉपिक सोसाइटी में भी आ जाती है, ज्योग्राफी में भी आ जाती है, डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट में भी आ जाती है, इन्वायरमेंट में भी आ जाती है, जैसे ये एक टॉपिक। वैसे और सारे टॉपिक्स को कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करें और उस हिसाब से कैसे नोट्स बनाएं ताकि एक नोट्स में सारा काम चल जाए?
नहीं देखो, ऐसे वाला जो टॉपिक होता है जो मल्टीपल सब्जेक्ट्स के अंदर आता है ना, उसको एक ही जगह में आप इंक्लूड नहीं कर सकते, पर ये आपके दिमाग के अंदर होना चाहिए कौन सी टॉपिक के अंदर, कौन सी सब्जेक्ट के अंदर मेनली कवर हुआ है। ओके, यू कैन नॉट मेक ए सिंगल नोट्स फॉर ऑल द सब्जेक्ट, दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल। हाँ, जब रिवाइज करोगे इंटरलिंक करना है आपको। आप पढ़ो, कोई भी सब्जेक्ट के अंदर पढ़ो, जब क्वेश्चन पेपर आप लेके आप बैठते हो बस क्वेश्चन ही देखोगे। यूपीएससी भी नहीं बताएंगे ये कौन सी सब्जेक्ट के अंदर पूछा है, ज्योग्राफी में पूछा है, एनवायरमेंट में पूछा है, सोसाइटी में पूछा है। यूपीएससी विल नॉट टेल, इट इज जस्ट ए टॉपिक। ये आपके दिमाग के अंदर होना चाहिए कौन सी सब्जेक्ट के अंदर पढ़ा है, वहां से रिकलेक्ट करना है बस। वहां पर जितना कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली हो सकते है उतना कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली करो। इफ वाटर रिसोर्स एज अ टॉपिक you are covering in geography and you know that this is relevant for society also, this is relevant for environment also, you put all of them here only। एक ही जगह में कवर करो, अलग अलग में कवर करने का अगर फोकस मतलब नहीं हो पा रहा है तो कोई बात नहीं, बट जब एनवायरनमेंट में जाके इसके बारे में पढ़ोगे तो आपको पता है, तो वहां पर कवर कर लिया तो वहां से रिवाइज कर लेना बस। रिवीजन करते समय ये इंटरलिंक करना है आपको, ठीक है। चलो, let me finish this part, mapping. So mapping exercise is something which is very, very important. I have told you the importance of this. At least 40% of the questions in geography will be related to mapping. But however, if you include the weightage of international relations as well as environment, mapping weightage will increase further. Because there are certain questions in IR which will be asked through direct mapping. There are certain questions in environment which will be asked directly through mapping. Mapping question का मतलब है atlas में दिया है इसलिए question है. You don't need any other information. Just using atlas you will be able to solve this. That is what is mapping question. 3 subjects are covered: geography, environment as well as IR. Together at least 10 questions you will find. Last year there were around 11 to 12 questions only from mapping. So how to do this mapping exercise? So mapping exercise करने का 2 तरीका है, दोनों करना ही है, पैरेलली करना है. One is atlas, another one is wall map. Okay, so all of you should have an atlas. एक atlas तो होना चाहिए, कोई भी atlas ले लो. Okay, Oxford, Orient, Blackswan, कोई भी atlas जो भी है वो काफी है. Along with the atlas, try to maintain a small notes just for mapping. Okay, just for mapping, maintain a small notes. Divide that into 6 sections. A total of 6 sections. Okay, so physical, economic, environmental. Sorry, physical, economic and political. Political, physical and economic. Physical के अंदर environmental आ जाएगा, ठीक है? Political, physical and economic. world as well as India. Total 6 sections. India political, world political, India physical, world physical, India economic, world economic. Total sections, 6 sections are there. Now you have to fill these sections. Fine. How to do that? You have 3 sources. 3 sources. First, directly from your atlas. Directly atlas. You just open the atlas, you will find some of the location, you will see that, you will write it, you will note down, and you will write the significance. Atlas is filled with so much of location. In that, how will you identify which one is important, which one is not important? For that, you have PYQs. I have given you 10 years of the PYQ analysis. In that first section is always mapping. Go through last 10 years of mapping questions. Okay, last 10 years of mapping questions, if you go through them, you will identify the important locations, important patterns, you will identify that. उसके बेसिस में जब भी आप अटलस खोलते हो, जब भी आप कोई लोकेशन देखते हो, आपको समझ आ जाएगी क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, नहीं आ सकता है. यहाँ पर करंट रिलेटेड नहीं करेंगे आप, बस स्टैटिक एटलस में दिया है, इंपॉर्टेंट है. फॉर एग्जांपल मेडिटेरेनियन सी देख लिया, मेडिटेरेनियन सी के अराउंड कौन कौन से कंट्रीज है, मार्क करो. ओके, रेड सी देख लिया, रेड सी के अराउंड कौन कौन से कंट्रीज है, मार्क करो. ठीक है. You will do this exercise from the political angle also. Political angle, physical angle, economic angle also. Economic related कुछ maps भी है, thematic maps है, go through कर लेना एक बार. Important mineral resources, important industry, important reservoirs ऐसे. World level में इतना detail में जरूरी नहीं है, India level में आप कर सकते हो. That is one through directly from atlas. Second, from your notes or textbook. Okay, so from your notes or textbook, let's say you are reading the particular topics both using NCERT as well as your textbook, you will find many examples. You are reading about plate tectonics, you will find many examples of volcanoes, many examples of mountains. All of them, try to mark it immediately in the atlas and write significance about that in the notes. आप divide कर सकते हो 6 sections में, कहाँ पर fit होगा आप वहाँ पर लिख दो. Whenever you are reading geography, you will find these locations, pick it and put it here. Fine. That is second. Third is your current affairs. Whenever you read current affairs, on daily basis you will find some of the locations. Some of them important, some of them not important. जो important है उसको note करो. अभी important not important कैसे पता चलेगा? PYQ. When you go through the PYQ, you will find many questions which are totally inspired from current affairs. उसको बार बार देखो. जब भी बोर हो रहे हो तो लगा दो. Okay, so चलते रहने दो. Questions दिमाग में बैठ जाए. Whenever you read a particular news item in a newspaper or any current affairs magazine, immediately आपके दिमाग में आएगा, तब ये से पूछा था, इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. Right? So make a note of this from newspaper as well as current affairs magazine. This is how you cover the map locations comprehensively. Now, what is the use of wall map? Wall map is for revision. Okay, so it is for revision. You don't need to mark anything on the wall map. Whatever marking you are going to do, you are just going to do it in the atlas. वो भी highlighting के through. लिखने का कोई जरूरी नहीं है, लिखने का जो भी होगा notes में लिखेंगे. Fine. So regularly revise it. Once in a week, twice a week, once in 15 days, okay, once in 10 days. जब भी आप बोर हो रहे हो, ऐसे दोस्त लोगों के बैठ के मतलब खड़े होके बात करे हो, तो मैप देख के पूछ लेना, ये यहाँ पर है, यहाँ पर क्या है, कहाँ पर कैसे है, बताओ ऐसे. Okay, that is a very easy way of remembering things. And you should use this wall map to visualize. Geography comes through visualization. Okay, so map location भी easily याद रख सकते हो, as well as for remembering the concepts. Map locations के लिए best है. Use the wall map to visualize and remember the locations. Okay, so whenever a particular location is coming up, immediately आपके दिमाग में वो map आना है. If at all I am saying Red Sea, Red Sea के मतलब Red Sea का map आना है दिमाग में आपका. इतना आपको अच्छे से वो विजुअलाइजेशन होना चाहिए. फॉर दैट यू हैव टू यूज दिस वॉल मैप. आई एम श्योर मोस्ट ऑफ यू हैव वॉल मैप्स. वो तो होगा, फिर लगा के भूल ही गए होंगे. ओके, सो जब प्रिपरेशन शुरू किया था तब लगा दिया, उसके बाद में भूल गए. ओके, सो प्लीज यूज दिस. दिस इज द पर्पज ऑफ दिस वॉल मैप, विजुअलाइजेशन. इट विल बी वेरी वेरी हेल्पफुल फॉर बोथ द जियोग्राफिकल कॉन्सेप्ट्स एज वेल एज फॉर मैपिंग. ठीक है. Political is basically the borders, the location of countries and their capitals, their order, north to south, east to west, like that. That is what is political. Economic is all the mineral resources, industrial locations, ports, airports, any new mining, any hydropower projects, like that, any economic activity related. Most of the economic locations are related to current affairs. Most of them are related to current affairs. In political locations also you will find many current affairs locations. The international relations. Some summit has happened. Okay, some conference has happened, some grouping is there. Okay, so you can use in the political map. Anything else? No. See, that is what I said. So when you go through the PYQ, you will understand what is the important information which is required. Okay, first thing, there are two things. One is the location. There are a number of locations which will come in the news. In that, which one to remember, which one not to remember. Go through the PYQ, you will know, okay, this kind of question can come. Fine. Second thing, in that location, what to remember. There's so many information related to a particular location. Okay, so for mapping purpose, only two things you have to remember in that. One, where is it located? What is the significance? No need to go in too detailed discussion here. Mapping question is not that detailed. Most of them are like, where is it located? ये कहाँ पर है? इसके surrounding में क्या है? वही होता है. बहुत डिटेल में जाके कवर करने का जरूरी नहीं है. इससे क्या होता है? Like you will cover more widely, more broad coverage is required. You try to go in more detail. You found a location, you will try to analyze, okay, what are the important information, you will try to make a note. That is not required. Your depth will increase, the coverage will decrease. I don't want the depth here. For mapping, it's the coverage. कितना widely cover करोगे? Most of the time अगर वो location सुना है तो आप mark कर दोगे answer. There's only one question, once it was asked. If you're traveling from Kohima to Kottayam, what is the minimum number of states through which you will travel? Okay, that also comes through visualization. हाँ, तो उसके लिए तो यही करना है, daily देखो थोड़ा सा. You have to see the atlas, map, wall map on daily basis. Some important locations you should always know. Okay, Kottayam, even you don't have to know where exactly it is located. You should have known at least it is located in Kerala. इतना पता है तो काफी था. There are few important locations. It will come to your mind. Okay, so कहीं ना कहीं तो सुना होगा, वो आ जाएगा. It is totally not related to current affairs. It is a classic example why visualization is important. You cannot mug up all the states. You cannot mug up कौन सी बगल में कौन सी state है. अगर आपका इंडिया मैप का visualization ठीक है, if you have a proper visualization of India map, you will put that in the mind and you will calculate. So Nagaland to Assam, Assam to West Bengal to Odisha, Odisha to Andhra to Tamil Nadu, and then Kerala. आ गया? Okay, that is how you visualize that. You put that in your mind and then answer it. There should be enough. Okay, so in terms of arrangement, there are few questions. At the world level, the questions are mainly related to few important areas. You don't have to remember all the capitals. There are certain areas geopolitically important. What are they? West Asia, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, Central America, and the bordering countries of Africa. Okay, so these are the locations which are important. There you try to remember their names. When you cover these regions, try to go through this capital and see their order. In India, you don't have to do it separately. Daily एक बार देख लो हो जाएगा. Okay, so India तो बहुत easy है. आपको daily exercise से आंसर मिल जाएगा. Anything else? No need to refer any book. No need to refer any book. Okay, go through these links which I have provided. Okay, so in that link there is also there will also in the description they would have given the questions. What you need is questions. Okay, so even the answer you don't refer to anything else. In many books, some of the answers are not corrected. दिए थे फिर यूपीएससी का आंसर अलग हो गया, वो करेक्ट नहीं हुआ, ऐसे भी होता है. Okay, questions are very important. Questions are important. आपके दिमाग में क्वेश्चन होना चाहिए. उसके थ्रू आप फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं इस तरीके से और कौन सा क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. Yeah, you can refer to the Vision website. So that is, we have recently updated only. देखिए, enough तो 100% कोई भी नहीं होता है, उतना कर सकते हैं, कर सकते हैं, कर सकते हैं. मेजर चीजें, क्योंकि हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ तो रहता है, which is beyond the control. Let's not worry about that. मैक्सिमम कवर हो जाएगा, एक साल का कवर कर लो, मंथली मैगजीन कवर हो जाएगा, सफिशिएंट है, बोथ फॉर ज्योग्राफी एज वेल एज एनवायरनमेंट. प्रीलिम्स के लिए, मेंस के लिए 1.5 ईयर का रखो यूजुअली. प्रीलिम्स के लिए 1 ईयर रखो, मेंस के लिए 1.5 ईयर रख लो, क्योंकि मेंस के लिए इश्यूज कंटिन्यू होता है ना. Okay, so till the last month of the main, so you can cover that. मतलब specifically, अच्छा ठीक है. देखिए, so talking about the overall time management, so this is the time you can comprehensively prepare for prelims as well as mains. Okay, so you can prepare comprehensively for prelims and mains till December. Once you hit January, complete focus should be on prelims. Complete focus should be on prelims. आप जितना भी कॉन्फिडेंट हो, इसके पहले मेंस भी लिखे हैं, यू कैन नॉट टेक रिस्क. आजकल तो प्रीलिम्स ऐसे रैंडम हो रहा है, अनप्रेडिक्टेबल हो रहा है ना, यू कैन नेवर टेक रिस्क. एंड प्रीलिम्स थरोली कर लिया तो मेंस का भी आधा हो जाता है, ऐसे तो कुछ अलग नहीं पड़ता है ना. सो मेंस का आधा तो प्रीलिम्स से हो जाएगा, थोड़ा बहुत एक्स्ट्रा करना पड़ेगा, वो कर लेंगे. माय पर्सनल सजेशन, फोकस कंप्लीटली ऑन ऑप्शनल टिल December now. Okay, so September, October, November, December, complete optional should be done. Parallelly, you should complete your GS also. Mainly covering the mains aspect and some more prelims aspect parallelly. Once you hit January, so complete focus should be on prelims. Prelims पे 100% focus लगाओ. So attempt tests, focus on CSAT. Okay, be completely thorough. And current affairs भी तो पढ़ना है parallelly. No, not really. Okay, so it depends. So is this your first attempt? Have you given mains earlier? So in that case, you should give maximum focus to prelims. You cannot take any risk at all. Okay, so you give focus on optional right now. Cover it before December 31st. But you will be reading many things other than that also, right? So you need to give 100% focus on prelims. Cover it till December 31st. That's it. Simple. After that, complete focus on prelims, nothing else. Prelims पे risk ही नहीं लेना है. And your target is not 100. If cut off 95 है तो 100 कर लेते नहीं. अगर cut off 95 है तो 115. 20 मार्क आगे होना चाहिए. You have to be 100% sure. तभी तो मेंस के बारे में हम सोच सकते हैं ना, नहीं तो क्या फायदा है. ठीक है, चलो लेट्स टेक ए ब्रेक एंड आफ्टर दैट विल कंटिन्यू विद एनवायरनमेंट.